Oh,
Can't
Frank is
see
here. Frank
what
is
my
here.
shirt
There you go.
is.
Frank is coming. Oh, your boobs.
No,
Why
I
not?
was like, oh, you can't see that I'm wearing my Champions Dallas Star shirt, like
Oh,
I
dang.
got for Christmas.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
We
Oh,
were
Frank.
second in
Frank,
line for the Stanley Cup.
Frank,
Yeah.
we're on live right now. But we're about to start the action. We start the stream. We're about to start the thing.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yes. Nick and I said we're just gonna let you in when you come in. You come in. Okay. And now let's get
It's
this
too
going.
early. I'm supposed to be sleeping now.
I know. I changed it up on you guys, so I'll tell everybody why. Okay, and now we are on. It is the season 5 premiere of GH Mini Spotlight, bitches. That's right. 5 seasons of this shit. I've been doing this, and we've been together off and on for almost 6 years. That's crazy talk. I met them over 6 years ago. It's crazy, you guys.
Yes.
Oh, wait. You both are wearing green.
Oh yeah.
Where are you, James? What's going on?
Yeah.
I'm wearing all my children.
Well, at least you're representing mine. You can't see is like, we were the second in line for the Stanley Cup, meaning we lost, but we are still fucking champion. Sorry. F-bomb already.
And Frank, what kind of shirt are you? Yeah, that's fine. And Frank,
it's the Justice League fighting the Defenders, guys. A little special mashup. So there you go.
I love it. You guys, hi. And I'm James Lott Jr. That's Frank Moran of Lacretia Lyon. We are here. We are back. It is a new year. I don't know if it's a better year yet, but it's a new year. On this week in America, especially. We made it through. And so we are here, and I'm hoping and praying it's a better year this year. Me and the Grogu's are hoping that it's much better. And so this is the end of the soap block, folks. Yes, it's a little early for you guys. I know. There's a reason why we're doing this. Because James Lott Jr. has a show that's coming on. It's a huge, huge, huge hit for me. And that is The Wind Calls the Heart, and that's on the Hallmark Channel. Me and Marissa Serafini are back for season 8 for that, and I have to take care of that, all that stuff with Hallmark. So I asked these fellas if they can come on sometimes a little earlier. This is through April for sure. We'll see how it goes. To come on at 4. So our new time is 4 o'clock for now. Not forever, but for now. See how it goes. I mean, Frank's normally sleeping, he said, at this time. Lucretia's sleeping. I don't know what's going on, so.
I drink at all times, guys, though, so don't I make time for things that are important to me.
And I just love Frank's beard. I just love your beard. Every time I see it, I just love it.
It's just getting more and more insane. So there you go.
I love it. That's so funny. That's so funny. I love it. Okay, so folks, earlier today we had Y&R premiere for our season 5 premiere of that show. That is out right now. We had our season 4 premiere of Bold and Beautiful Mini Spotlight with Annika Noel. Oh my God, it's so good. And we talked about the mannequin. We talked about everything. Trust me, the mannequin, and the blow-up dolls. We talked about that. That's great. You can watch that now. Daytime Today was also today, with Candace Mack and Tammy Govea. That is out now. And after this show, I actually have a Extra Connections live with Tony Moore from Days of Our Lives, Flobo Boyce, my buddy from all kinds of shows, and Jack C. Farmer, who does the wrestling. We're all ex-AfterBuzz people. We're getting together talking about how this business sucks. I'm just kidding. About how hard it is to create content and get noticed in this business, and it sucks. So we're talking about that tonight at 7 o'clock. That's all those things there. Also, a rest in peace to John Riley. Who played Sean Donnelly, which I loved Sean and Tiffany back in the day.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, you guys, about that?
I always enjoyed Sean Donnelly, and I just felt like, once the character had left the show, it's just like, always kind of missed him. And I know that he popped in, gosh, was it 5 years ago?
It was just a few years ago. Yeah.
When he was it part of the Luke storyline? Or wait, what was this? What did he pop in?
I think it was like Luke's one of was it his exit or the anniversary, because they were kind of similar. They got people back.
That's right.
Because that was really my only introduction that I remember of Sean Donnelly, other than YouTube and seeing him later. But yeah, I know him and Finola Hughes were really close because the relationship between Sean and Anna was, very friendly.
Yeah. So I'll be curious to see what they do in show for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They were a very important part of the series. So I'm very curious what they're going to do too. I have to answer one thing to Michael B, who every week says to me, "You got to talk to YouTube about your notifications. There's nothing I can do. YouTube's a huge corporation.
They
don't care about us.
No, they're not going to do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. Other people get here. So just know that in the past, it was every Sunday at 6 we came on. So you'll need notifications. Come on around 6. And now it'll be every Sunday at 4. So it's around 4 o'clock. Be ready.
And there's this thing on Twitter too, like check Twitter. You post the time and you can go and it'll be within the 10 minutes.
Yeah, within 10 minutes. There's seriously nothing I can. I'm nobody in the cog of lots of YouTube.
If you went to YouTube and said, "Don't you know who I am?" they would. I'm sure. James Lott Jr.
Frank, you could trust and believe they would walk by and be like, they'd be like, James Lott who? James what? I don't know who. I mean, they don't know who the fuck I am. So they don't care about me. So unfortunately, nothing I can do about that. But Michael B also does say, looking good, Frank.
No, trust me, Michael B, you shouldn't start the year off on a lie.
See, Frank getting some love again. I love it. Okay, so let's dig in. Well, so from us, we think it's been good. I don't know what Frank thinks yet. Going by this week, I mean, we can talk about some stuff before it too. I'm more focused on this week, for sure. I'm gonna start with the Gray siblings because they are my favorite thing right now. My favorite sitcom on General Hospital. I love Laura, Martin, and Cyrus.
I will say they have hit gold with this. The scenes with Jeannie and with Jeff as Cyrus and Laura this week was just so good. But yeah, even going in the weeks ahead, while you were on hiatus, it was such a good dynamic because I like that Marty's the one who's like, look, I don't want to get involved. And we got more into that this week. And how great is Michael E. Knight? Everyone is just killing it. And they finally figured out what to do with his character and how we can keep him around. And it's like, oh, yay, he's Laura's brother. And just everything unfolding. Even my mom is like, no, I want to watch. Like, let's watch that again, even if you've already seen it during the day or whatever, because this is so good. Now Frank, ruin it.
Yeah, now Frank.
Let me tell you, I've been enjoying it as well. So I wish I would love to be able to ruin it. That's what I live for. But
it's snowing in Texas, so I guess that's a cold day in hell for some of you.
Great dynamics. I mean, the only thing that was kind of even put a damper on it, although it was good to see Cyrus Rector, was just seeing Leslie show up.
Yes.
I was waiting for Frank to say that.
Boy,
why Frank Brand? No. Why are you saying that?
Oh, we love Leslie.
Yeah, Leslie's just whatever. I'm done with Leslie. She's just, I'm sure back in the day maybe she was better. Who knows? But now, no, it's just rough. It's just rough.
They trotted her out. And I was, for me, I was like, when I heard that, I was like, oh, Leslie. I know she was coming on. I didn't read anything that she was coming on. Maybe people knew. I didn't know.
So then you knew nobody cared.
A little.
Jesus.
That was terrible. That was terrible.
No, she's a little beyond her years. Yes. So I'm sure she did her lines as best she could. I have to say, it's a great use of history. I mean, being there, and they made her kind of comical.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to be more specific. And I love that.
That's funny. That's kind of me. It was like, it was kind of like she was like, why, which married man? Oh, that man. I mean, it was kind of funny. You call me a tramp. Why, I'm a tramp. Remember, I'm a tramp. It's like, it was kind of like they made her kind of comical in that thing against Cyrus. But you're right. It was kind of like he was waiting for her to finish her lines. He was like, I mean, it's a little rough for some folks, but it is history.
Yes. Just for the line of Cyrus, calling her a tramp.
Yeah. Oh, the tramp who slept with my married father. That was a great. Yeah.
I mean, it was a great line. It was great, and
she owned it.
Eileen Kopic also brings up the best line from Martin. not all mothers eat their young. We were talking to Valentine.
Yeah,
Yes.
because
Some mothers eat
you
their
know,
young.
in Valentine's defense, Helena was his mother, so I understand why he didn't get it at first, but then once he did, it's like, oh, the best romance since Brew.
It is a romance. But I want to go back to what you're saying about
Yeah.
Michael E. Knight. Yes, finally they're using him to the best of his ability. Because I know Frank, I'm sure, was worried. I was worried. You were worried. They were going to have him on here, then die him out somewhere, or have him just come on occasionally and just like whatever. Now he's in. And I think, and what's funny is he's kind of ambiguous too a little bit, because even Laura was kind of like, so you gonna help me or not help me? And you say he's kind of like, well, alleged activities.
Yeah.
And he is my brother, but like, so I was kind of like, ooh. So he is playing kind of the middle thing, because he likes Laura. You can tell he likes her. Like, he's like so excited to have her.
Yeah, and he felt like he was a part of the family with her and Kevin, and I like that they're building that with them. And I do feel like the whole situation with Florence is sort of possibly dividing that in a way. But I like that they're leaving Martin ambiguous, because at least when he said to Laura his, reservations, it's like, I'm a man of the law, and that's what I have to put first. It's like, okay, this is a way to have him sort of be on the sidelines, but also not look like a bad guy, unless they need him to look like a bad guy at some point, which is also fine, because I know he can do it.
I agree.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't enjoy was just the really bad physical comedy they gave him when he was bringing in all those Christmas presents for the elderly at GH. Ugh, what a
They try sometimes. Oh, come on, Frank Moran. They try to add a little humor. They try. It's clumsy.
Yeah, we miss Frank's grinchiness.
Right.
Yeah, we missed it. I know. But I thought about the Leslie thing. I did think about Frank. Oh my God, he's gonna crucify her. Poor thing.
Yeah.
I knew it. She was.
Oof. And just like that person that's got a hairstyle, and then they just lock that in forever, and you're like, woof. Come on.
Yeah, that was a bad wig. That was a bad wig. I said you could have done better with Denise Alexander. She's a daytime legend, and you gave her that bad wig. I'm like,
some people keep the same hairstyle till the day they died. I mean, my dad still had the Steve Perry because he loved Lee.
Yeah. Oh yes, I'm wearing All My Children the final season, which is coming back, as Pine Valley. So,
yeah.
But one last thing, I am enjoying the Valentine Marty thing, and I'm curious, like with Valentine, I'm enjoying when he acts as a supporting character to somebody else. When he offers to lend a hand, I'm enjoying seeing more of that side of Valentine. So I'm curious to see what comes out of his offer to help try to find their Marty's mother.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say, this is where, Valentine does work best, is sort of, he has all these connections and he can do this. And this is what we used to have Nicholas sort of do back in the day, but he's busy with the Ryan and Ava stuff, which is really good. But yeah, I like that they're letting Valentine be that guy, especially for Marty, because they developed this friendship. And then James Patrick Stewart is friends with Michael E. Knight in real life too. So it really works. And then he has this love and respect for Laura. And because of Charlotte, I do wonder if we're ever going to get, Charlotte to meet her Uncle Marty in that way and sort of realize that they are family, because we've not even really had that acknowledgement, which is funny to me. But yeah, this is good, because this is showing Valentine, as with Dante and Anna, that he's not that bad guy anymore. And he's really trying, especially with Lulu gone.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see if Valentine comes to Laura and says, why didn't you tell me that the dangerous mob boss in Port Charles is Charlotte's uncle? I wonder if he gets offended by that, or is he understanding?
Yeah, it's funny watching all the reactions when they told Nicholas. Nicholas was like, "What?" I mean, everybody's reactions are kind of like, "What?" I mean, when they call Carly, everybody, "What?" Everybody's like, "What? Cyrus is your brother?" Like, that part is kind of funny. I mean, that part made me chuckle across time, because it really did open up. They're related to everybody. I mean, literally.
Oh yeah.
Lulu to Nicholas to Spencer to, it just goes on. And then they have the extended family that's in through marriage. And it's like those two men are now entrenched in Port Charles. I mean, they're part of Port Charles now. And that's what's kind of very interesting. And the storyline also umbrellas, because as you go a little further out, we see Jordan. Okay,
Yeah.
I've said this already. I'm trying to get her on the show because you had her on the show with you and Carla, Frank. She never won me over until Friday. She won on Thursday, whatever episode was. She won me over. When that whole episode between her and Cyrus, she was done. And when she said, "You go find mommy on your own,"
On your own,
I was
mommy.
like,
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm in, bitch. I am in. I am in. I am in. I thought finally because they lifted that because that was a problem that I know me and Frank were talking about all this time. They finally lifted that fire. It was kind of like she's like, screw this. We're done. This is all. We were over. The secrets are out. I already told everybody what's going on. I already lost my son already at this point, and Curtis, so to speak. So she's like, there's no everything. I love that they lifted that veil. So now it's like it's war again. I guess on them because it's already out. Everything's out.
Yeah, to me, that was just the moment we needed for Jordan's character because the thing is, and there have been moments here or there, I thought Brie was doing a good job because, again, it's not her fault the story for Jordan has written her kind of unlikable. I mean, there's only so much you can do with the material that's like, oh, I do this and that. Okay. Yeah. But it's one of those that I love that she was just done. And it's like, I already lost my son. I already lost my husband in her mind, all this. So screw you. And it was like, yes, this is the Jordan that came on and really brought us in with Vanessa. And this is the Jordan that gives no F's. I like that. Mm-hmm.
It is interesting that
Right.
I like the scene because you want to see, I mean, you want to see her get that comeuppance to Cyrus. But also it just seemed weird to me. Like Cyrus is a pretty crafty dude. I mean, he does his research. He knows how he can kind of read people. So for him to be so kind of blindsided by Jordan saying, "Oh, now you know how it feels like that," because you took TJ, and for Cyrus to not even have that kind of thought beforehand, I mean, it was a great scene to Jordan to get that, but I also like, come on, Cyrus, you're not that clueless to understand why she has zero sympathy for you.
I think it really shows that Cyrus is thrown off with his mother. And that's why Carly took advantage of that, knowing that. And we all know that wasn't really Laura's intention. It was sort of bringing it about her. But yeah, I mean, Carly pouncing on that and this being Cyrus's weakness, this is sort of what makes him a little sympathetic, though. And that's why he kind of thought that maybe Jordan would be more sympathetic. But it's like, no, you had her son. She's like, go find mommy on your own.
Go find mommy on your own. I love that line. I was like, that's my bitch. And so, I mean, you're right. I think I'm with both of you guys a little bit. It's trying to show that his Achilles heel is his mom. He wants her. Well, not just his mom, but her approval, her forgiveness. That's what all villains. They want somebody they want to be approved and just loved. But it's all wrong, right? So you guys know more about that than I do, of course. He's a mama's boy. Yes, why we say he's a mama's boy. So that's his whole thing. He wants mom. And the fact that she's gone, I think he's genuinely concerned. Like, where is she?
Yeah.
And it's funny. Everybody's like, Jason wouldn't do this. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Carly is like doing it. No one's thinking Carly. Like, I know it's an unlikely because she's not the mob. Now she's a mob queen, apparently, so to speak. But like, why aren't they thinking? Because Jason would never. Everybody says Jason would never do that, and Jason almost kind of admitted he would never do that, so to speak. But he's covering for Carly.
Yeah, I don't know why anyone hasn't picked up on that yet either, because even Laura's like questioned it, like Jason wouldn't do that, like, but she's not said that's Carly's MO, because I guess people still want to believe that Carly has grown and changed, but part of me loves the fact that she hasn't. I was in love with Carly this week and just how freaking shameless she was at every corner and was more than happy to implicate her mother, like, the whole thing. I'm like, all right, I'm in for Mob Queen Carly.
Mm-hmm. She's working it out. She's working out this week. She didn't care. She didn't care at all. And she kept smirking and everything. And it's like, yeah, it's been handled. She kept saying, it's been handled. I'm like,
she was so proud.
Just so proud of a girl. Like, you don't know what you're doing. But it's very Carly. Carly's impulsive. And that's why I'm surprised the ones who really know them aren't saying Jason's covering for Carly. I'm surprised folks are not getting that yet. That's the part that's kind of like, and even though we see Sonny's alive.
Yeah.
What a surprise. I was so surprised.
Yeah.
But
who would have thought?
Frank, I thought of you. How long has he been laying in that snow? How many days have passed? Shouldn't he be dead anyway from hypothermia? I mean, like, wasn't he in the water first? And then, I mean,
That coat blew off his jacket. That collapsing bridge just blew off his jacket. It was like, what? All right.
I'm hoping that maybe that was a flashback. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt that he hasn't been laying there for days because he would be dead then. But maybe this is like, yeah, see, Sonny, he was alive and now he's being, held captive or got some hot mama like who's got him. I don't know. Like, let's face it, because y'all know Carly and Jason are going to totally do it, right? Well, like, because they think he's dead. Like,
but otherwise, it's like the most incompetent search and now, search and find or search and retrieve or whatever that it is now. It's a search and rescue. Like,
of course.
I mean, he's just laying there, so you couldn't find him. You couldn't find him. All right, guys, this is terrible.
Yeah, that's why I assume that maybe that's a flashback and that he's been somewhere because they can't be that incompetent, right?
Yeah. I really dislike any sort of dream sequence that GH does. So as soon as they have like Sonny popping up at Carly's at the house while she's holding the stocking or whatever, I'm just like, why are we doing this? We know this isn't him. Oh,
we know. I hate those. Use them sparingly, folks. Any kind of dream scenario or whatever, we don't know it's a dream at first, whatever. We usually can tell it's a dream. We knew it wasn't him walking through the doors. I mean, that bugs the crap out of me. It's like, we already know that.
Yeah, only the most interesting things happen in dreams. You know it's a dream when when something interesting happens. You're like, oh, of course is a dream because it wouldn't really happen.
No, it hasn't. So yes, so I think it was all that was part of all that. There's a lot. So Sonny's alive, folks. People were asking where Maurice Bernard is. He's actually all over the internet. He's doing podcasts, talks, and stuff. I believe it's just because of COVID, they're rotating people in and out. I think is what it is.
Yeah.
They can't have everybody on the podcast. So I sent you guys on Bold and the Beautiful show, people who watched that one. LA has COVID stuff going on here, and there's COVID precautions with larger casts that can't all be together at the same time. So I think they were just rotating people out, and that's why they gave some time off.
Yeah.
Yeah, much deserved. I mean,
yeah, seriously.
What was funny to me is everybody always complains how much that's Jason, Carly, Sonny, and then when Sonny's not on for a few days, like, oh my God, is he not? Like guys, come on, you sound insane.
If Maurice Bernard was off of GH, I think we would know.
Yeah.
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 That's you say that.
Given,
now we go back a little second because we talked about Laura going to Nick Cave.
I would say I was just curious, like how far ahead they are now in production wise, because I know things are slowing down here in Los Angeles.
I believe it's a month.
Really?
I think, or something close to that. I think all the soaps are they've started to catch up. They went back into heavy production, and I believe that they were like, I want to say 30 days or less, something like 28, something like that. I think.
Yeah, and GH is not scheduled to go back till the 18th because that was a ABC Disney move on that part, and that's still tentative. So that's why they've been opting to not show episodes when there's so much news coverage because of all the crazy shit going on. So that's where you'll see them skip, and that's why they skipped New Year's Eve and some other stuff. So you can tell that was sort of their strategy in the other two, as well as kind of skipping an episode day if we giving people time to catch up versus not having some. So I mean, hopefully that'll all work out, but yeah.
Yeah, Bold, same thing. They're not back to the 18th either, tentatively. I mean, this is all tentatively. But they have episodes to air right now, and Bold and YNR are doing a crossover event. So a 2-week crossover event. So they're born on both shows. So it should be very interesting starting tomorrow. So very interesting. But that's how they're doing that. So it's a lot of people focus. It also is people can't really come fly in and do our shows because you get to quarantine 10, 14 days. You get here. So they're using actors who are local. So a lot of times you see these casting decisions like, why did they cast so-and-so? Well, they already put actors in New York or lives in Canada, which are just really being restricted in Canada right now too, all of a sudden. Or like Jess Walton and YNR lives in Oregon, and it's just a big ordeal. And no one's flying. And it's just like, it's a lot. They're trying to juggle a lot of stuff to make sure you have shows on the air, like you said, so you don't go off the air.
Yeah, Canada, you can't
That's
come
what's
in and out because even for hockey, like they've had to restructure the whole, divisions and everything because like you can't go in and out of Canada. So now all the Canadian teams just have to play each other. Sorry, I know no one cares. I was like,
Yeah, they have a curfew.
I was like,
Michael B cares.
They have a curfew.
yeah, someone cares, right?
Michael B.
There
cares.
might be
Michael B.
one other hockey fan.
So with Ava and Nick, before Laura came over, we had an amazing scene with Alexis and Ava.
Yes.
I love more drunk Alexis, right, Frank? More drunk Alexis.
No.
More drunk Alexis.
No. Drunk Alexis is annoying at this point, but I will say the acting in that scene was, excuse me, so phenomenal it made me sneeze. But Mara West in that scene, when she's behind the bar, and I mean, just her range of emotions during that just conversation with Alexis was fantastic.
Yeah, I said this on Twitter, and I'm glad it reached a lot of people because that whole thing, that whole day even was a masterclass in acting, especially from the leading ladies of GH. And this week was all a ladies' week and really showing it and really giving 110%. Most of them. But yeah, we saw that to me was one of the best scenes. My mom laughed because I watched the second time and I'm still laughing at every point with Maura and Nancy just going at each other and just the back and forth. And it was just so good. The Alexis and Ava dynamic. I'm glad that we're getting more of that because even when she was with Julian, they never really shared that much together. But now with Nicholas, there's a different part. And I kind of love Nicholas being prudish in that scene, about them. Oh, does this lead to the bedroom? And he's like, ew, like my aunt. Like, I think Marcus is a little bit more innocent than Tyler. And I feel like it works better with this dynamic that they have going now because, yeah, I mean, Ava is this cougar that we love so much, and Nicholas is kind of a younger guy, and I thought that was funny, and it's kind of showing their different dynamic. But I like how Nick is the prince again. He is the guy who's like trying to reassure her and does seem to care for Ava. So yes, I didn't agree with Alexis during the scene for the most part, but boy did I enjoy it.
I agree with both you guys, and I just was just second. Frank Smalls and Mara West was just why she's an Emmy winner. It's just not. Yes, it's just like it makes sense because a lot of her stuff, a lot of it was Nancy DeGrand talking and her reacting, and that to me that's acting. That's acting. I mean, you can be showy and talking and stuff, but when you don't have that much dialogue and you're reacting to what this actor's saying, it was just like it was so good. It was so good. And in fact, that you're right.
Oh yeah, I was going to say like that flip when Alexa then started to change her tune about Julian and then talk about the good times. Like that one moment right there, I'm like, guys, that's fucking acting. And we don't always see that in primetime. We don't see it on streaming. We don't always see anything that fucking good. I mean, again, I'm dropping the F-bombs on your show.
I know. It's that good. It's just that good.
So good.
So good. So good. I wrote gold on my page.
Yeah.
Gold. That's what I wrote. I was just thinking, it's just nice. It was a scene I didn't expect. Alexis was kind of floundering around town, dropping in places, hurting herself. She hurt her arm, and she did it. That whole scene with Gregory Harrison. So first of all, for us older folks, I remember Gregory Harrison's Trapper John MD and all that back in the day. And he was hot back then. He's still hot today. I'm having a hard time, and this is my own stuff. I'm having a hard time believing he could be Michael Easton's father. But that could be just good genes.
Young love. It was young love, James.
Right. No, right. Frank, it could be.
Jordan and TJ are closer than age than anybody else. So that's what's funny to me. I'm like, this show with Olivia and Dante, I always accepted the fact that she was like 16 when she had him. So like that one, but I mean, God, the family Finn is beautiful, aren't they? I mean, that is a handsome bunch. I think it works in that way. But yeah, they look more like brothers than father and son. But so did Chase and Finn, and that may be a different story.
But Lacretia, I have my fantasies of the Chase men, or whatever their last name is, man. So whatever their last name is. I'm all in. I'm all in. All three of them. I'll take them all.
I don't know if I really. I find myself not caring at all. Yet the show, I feel, wants me to still care about the possibility of Finn being Chase's dad. I'm like, this is a whole storyline I don't care about, and I don't know why I need to keep watching this. Could he be? I don't know. I mean, Jackie says he's not. So,
but see, it's the when Jackie and Laura talked, I thought was kind of cool. I think good, like old history right there. I feel like there's bits and pieces of this storyline that I kind of care about, and the major parts I don't. The whole wedding thing I give two shits about.
Oh yeah.
But the other parts around it, I kind of I want them to ramp those stories up. I actually wouldn't mind if they ramp up that story.
Jason,
I wouldn't mind that one because that'd be very interesting. Because they're both grown men. It'd be very interesting that whole family dynamic. Frank, I've had to hear one more story about the godforsaken wedding. I don't care.
Yeah, the only thing. Yeah. The only acceptable reason for them dragging this out is if Hayden comes back at the wedding and they were waiting for Rebecca. That is honestly the only acceptable reason at this point, because I am sort of invested in the Chase family or whatever they're called, but it's one of those things that I don't care if Finn is Chase's dad or his brother. I mean, the interesting part is, the fact that there is a question. But one of the weirder comments I saw is like, how would Finn not know Chase's birthday and when it was versus the date? And I'm just like, dates aren't man numbers. Do you guys honestly think that Hamilton Finn knows his little brother Harry Chase's birthday? Are y'all not around grown-ass men? Certainly men who are doctors and a little... they have a calendar for that. They don't know it offhand, especially because they haven't known each other. They've not really been around each other for most of their life. So I thought that was funny. I'm like... Right. Wow, y'all really aren't around grown-ass men, I guess. If you're thinking, how would he not know this date of this person he's barely spoken to until now?
For 20 years, right? Yeah. He wasn't around. He wasn't around him. And that's all really said that. He wasn't around.
But I also feel like the dates, because you feel like Finn sleeps with her the night before the wedding, which means Gregory slept with her, I'm sure, on the wedding night.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like a one-day difference. So, I don't know. I mean, even if you knew the date, it still doesn't. That's still not a guarantee of anything.
Right. Yeah. Of 9 months later. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just that part. But to answer Frank's question, parts of it. The main parts I don't care about. You're absolutely right. I just don't. But there are pieces of things if they ramp those up, I could get into it even more. I feel. I just feel like they stripped they stripped chemistry between Anna and Finn. That's gone to me now. That's just dead. Anna has chemistry with everybody else besides him. Finn has chemistry with Robert. I mean,
yeah.
Right, exactly.
Or Dante, even. So I've never been opposed to Anna Dante.
I'm glad that Finn finally told Anna what was up with that night. So we got that secret off Finn's chest. But I agree with you, James. During that whole scene where you're supposed to feel like these two, he's sharing a deep secret, and the two are connecting. I just didn't. I didn't feel it, and you just feel Anna going but Chase though, he is your son, though, right? Come on, really?
Yeah. And she can't talk.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna say I love them both individually, Anna and Finn, but them together just because of ever since that long gap, it just never really felt right. And you'll have moments, but it's just. She would be so much better with Valentine. We got to get him away from Nina. I mean, I love Cynthia Watros, but we got to get her some better material. Yeah.
Yeah. Finn needs to go with Alexis. Mm-hmm. In LA. They're not bringing Hayden back full time. So I think I like Alexis and him, if anything.
I like them better as friends.
Yeah, I agree. I do enjoy that. I mean, I feel like if it wasn't for the Peter August umbrella storyline, they probably would have ended Finn and Anne sooner. I feel like.
I guess we got to talk about him too. I guess.
I just feel like if they weren't tied into that larger storyline and then trying to hit a good moment with it for them, I feel like they would have kind of split.
You're right.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder, I would
You're
be
right.
okay with like a Finn, Jackie, Robert triangle because I really like the friendship between Finn and Robert. And where else would Finn go? Because I just don't see him and Alexis. Like I love this drunk downward spiral Alexis, and I do wonder. I would almost rather see Alexis and Sunny reunion because let's face it, Sunny and Carly, need to break up again. And where are we going to go do with Sunny unless we bring back, she who shall not be named?
Yes,
Like,
right. Yes.
because I feel like if I say it 3 times, she'll come back.
Yes. People want her. Some people want her, and I don't. But some people want her, and I'm like, okay.
But even if like Finn and Anna break up, and Jackie, since she's now separated / going to be divorced from Gregory, I just would, given how like torn up to keep saying that Finn is about everything that happened with sleeping with Jackie the night before the wedding, I don't know if I could actually see the show getting them together and me being like, yeah, like, because it'd still be weird for to Finn's dad, to Gregory, and it would still be weird to Chase. I don't know, like, oh, now I'm with Jackie. I would feel like it'd be a hard sell for the show to make me go like, yeah, Finn as a character would be down for doing this.
I mean, he was in love with her, and it was pretty clear that I think she was in love with him too. And weirder things have happened on this show. I mean, people are still wanting, fathers and sons to share women like with Sam and Dante. And don't get me started on that yet. That is awful. No, leave the man alone. But yeah, it would not be weird in GH world. Like in Port Charles as we know it, I think, because where else is Finn gonna go unless we have like Hayden come back? And I agree that I like the chat here has said like Anna and Andre were great. They were, and to have Anthony Montgomery back, especially since being mentioned, would be awesome. But no, I'm sorry, Anna. At this point, she may have chemistry with everyone, but let's put her and Valentine together because again, it's the only way to get him away from Nina. And I'm just like, it's just stop. Let's spread him around, just like Chase and Willow. We don't need to revisit that. Spread the love.
I always say I've been saying recently they should put Nina with Martin.
Why not? I'm down.
Why not?
Yeah.
They can do comedy and drama. They're both alike.
Yeah, because Cynthia's really funny. Like, and that's
funny.
why I wish they would let her do anything other than what they're having her do.
Yeah, because Cynthia was on the Carrie show for years.
Yeah, and Titus, she was the wife on that.
Titus, yes, I mean all those. I've loved her career for her, and she could do drama. We know she can do drama. But when they mentioned, I thought of Frank again. When they mentioned that search for her daughter again.
Oh.
I'm like, okay, can someone slit my throat, please, and just take my juices and pour it over some rice? Because I'm just like, I
do not care.
I don't care either. Does anybody in the chat room? Do you care? Yeah, I'm looking at the screen over here.
Yeah.
Do you care if Nina finds out that Nell's her child? Do you care at this point? Yeah. Does anybody care?
Well, I love that it's Nell, but let's just rip that Band-Aid off and let her go crazy again. I love Cynthia, but I hate Nina at this point just because, I mean, hate's a strong word. I just don't care. Let's face it. It's more an indifference, which is almost worse because it's like, oh my God, like you have Cynthia Watros, who is this great actress. And we have this like secret that could be blown up at any moment and let her give some finely meaty material. But oh no, we're going to keep dragging this out. Like, and her pairing with Jax is just,
Oh, I know. Just limp. It's like I can't get lumps, whatever. Lackluster, whatever L words I can think of. It's not a lot. All I gotta say.
I mean, for now, I'd rather see the reveal and Nina find out that Nell is, and let her go through that. And then whenever you want to bring back Nell as a character, then let them have that reunion. But at least give Nina something to play now. And because hearing Carly say the reason she doesn't want to tell Nina, it's like, oh. Nina's trying to build up Nell as some society.
Carly's rationalizations are hilariously bad.
Stupid. That is stupid, Carly. Because I mean, Carly in a sense can always be a hypocritical character. But I mean, still, you get out of there, Carly. If somebody did that to you, the world would burn once you found out what the deal was. So you can't tell me that that you're cool with doing this.
Michael B. asked, "Is Martin straight?" So
yeah,
here I thought him and Lucas get together. I don't know, older, younger, who knows? I'm like, that could be interesting if he made him gay. Shit,
I
why
can
not?
see that because, Martin, the way he looks at Valentine is the way that I look at Valentine. So, like, there's definitely something there. It's like, oh, that's like me.
They're all, yes, Frank, get this story close. Yes, we're all, yeah, yeah. I thought that was just interesting there. Also, we got Britt and Obrecht reunited, and it feels so good. I was like, that was actually a really cute scene. I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I loved every minute of it. I love that, they have that contentious relationship, but it became fun at the end because they're both fun. And I like that they get to play that. It's not just always like that, bad mother and daughter thing. But yeah, like the bangs comment, because poor Kelly, they kept giving her crap about her bangs. So I thought that was a funny little inside joke. Yeah.
I love that. Frank?
Dumb scene of the week was Anna coming out of the elevator and immediately asking the first person she runs into, have you seen Dante Falconeri? Like,
who would know Dante? Like, yeah, I agree.
Just this random person out of an elevator just so we could get that, oh my gosh, she's going to see Obrecht? That was so stupid. It was so stupid.
I have to agree with Frank.
I
agree
with Frank on that one too.
Why would this random doctor know
like,
who Dante is? Like, if he was a doctor there, okay, I would get it. But like, yeah, he's a patient-ish. Like, he may have been in there like recently, but
she seems familiar to me. Why? Why would she seem familiar? She's like the average height of probably a woman in the hospital.
yeah.
It's just like, hey, where'd she go? I was just keeps staring off me like, what's wrong, Anna? I don't know. There was something about that nurse. I'm like, okay, I write stuff. You can write something better than that to put them in a room. You could do something. You should have had her walk towards that room or something, or whatever it was. That was so strange. It was strange. It was strange. But I'm glad she's there. She's back around her Britt are like, and Britt, when she warned Britt, towards the end, she started warning her, saying, be careful about Peter. Like, just because, and I agree with her. I think Peter, because Peter right now, he is shitting his pants right now because he's off now when Franco told, okay, wait a minute, did I miss something? Did Elizabeth and Maxie have a scene where they talked in the bathroom? No, right?
We never saw it. Yeah.
We didn't see it, but yeah, I actually really loved that whole scene, even though, Peter and Maxie were in it. And I like Maxie, but their dynamic is just like, we all agree that but I just love that Liz and Maxie still hate one another, because I love when people hate each other for good reason. Like, I agree that, like, they should not like each other, especially because I love that, Maxie hates Franco because she slept with him. Like, honey, you slept with half the town, like every other woman on this show, but okay, except like Portia. But yeah, it's like, okay, that's funny. Yeah, Franco. Okay, that's the one. But yeah, you're with Peter. Okay, I love like Dante's comments about him. But yeah, I think Franco was playing Peter, so that's why I liked that. I liked that they walked off in their cattiness and sort of figured it out. I hate that we didn't get to see it, but Franco was so playing him, and I love his low self-esteem, where he's like, "I'm going to put myself in harm's way to save the day."
And see, also, there's this rumor that Robert's his father is Peter's real father.
No, Valentine I could see because of Alex.
I supposed to say too, but I heard a rumor about that when he made that line. And actually, I think of you like a daughter. I didn't read into it more than that. I thought it was just like you like a daughter. And he goes to Peter, you don't think of Peter as like your son you never had or whatever. And I was like, you're trying to say Robert and Alex had a kid together? Is what you're trying to say? I'm like, I don't. Yeah, no. I'm not. But people have mentioned it. Not just me. People have mentioned it. So I don't.
Well, people love to grasp at straws, and the Valentine thing, they've at least set up that relationship with Peter, and they look alike. So, and he has had sex with Alex, but Robert and Alex, no. Like, you think because that would be before Robert. Yeah, again, the timelines are all messed up. We know on this show, but yeah, I don't know who started that rumor, but that's just sad, and I'll hate myself if it comes true.
It is interesting that we haven't had Valentine have that moment like, oh, could I possibly be the father? Because I did sleep with Alex. That's never even. mean, I think we as an audience can probably see that coming.
Yeah.
If they wanted to go that way, but at least Valentine, he has not had that pushy moment like Finn did about Chase. Could I be his father? Oh.
Yes.
Because we're talking about Peter, the one, I mean, I can't already stand this character already. Sam McCall is
you know how I feel. Everybody knows how I feel. Everybody knows
Sam
how I feel.
to me is the only character worse than Peter. Like that whole scene, I'm like, I know I should feel bad for Sam, but I don't. Like, but again, I feel about her how she does about her father. Oh, so distasteful. Sorry.
The way Sam behaves with anybody in a scene, which annoys me to no end, is when Peter's leaving and they bump into each other right there at the elevator, and it's all about where are you going?
Yeah,
who cares, Sam? You don't need to know. And she always does that, and it's
so none of your business, bitch. Like I hate you. This is what's so bad about Sam. You make me like Peter. Like in that scene, I was like, oh, good for Peter. And that's how much I hate Sam at this point. Because as I'll say, the Sam stuff, like last week was a great 2 weeks ago when we had no Sam, great. This week, like just the one with Franco, she didn't do much. And again, that's one of those few times that I'm like, no, she has every right to hate Franco. I don't care. But it was like a scene that I didn't feel was necessary. Like, but okay. But the scene with her and Dante and Peter, I'm like, oh my God, like why?
So you don't mind. I mean, you didn't like the scene where Dante and Sam bond over their shared brother Leo. I forgot they both.
I love Dante. Here's the thing: is I loved Dante in that scene, especially when he was doing the Sonny impersonation, and that he's bringing up to Sam. Well, someone cared about Julian, you know, our brother Leo. I loved how Dante was kind of a dick about it because, again, and all you people shipping them. Like not only, I mean, I get it's GH, so you'd be a hypocrite to say like the other, you know, father son stuff, you know, and that would be the reason against Sam and Dante. But it's really more the fact that, God, like let the woman be single and go off or something, because I don't think Sam has ever really been single on this show. And for freak's sake, Dante has enough problems to deal with. He doesn't need her ass. Like, Jesus, the dude's got, problems this wide. Like, seriously. So you want to put him with Sam, the biggest freaking problem? No, leave the man alone. Like, and gross.
And gross. And gross. It's I think because they look cute together in some level, both these dark hair, short little, you know. They kind of match a little bit, and they did around that years ago with like there was
that was good when they did that.
With Dante. Yeah, they did that. So I guess they're trying to play with that. I keep saying I was shipping Sam and Brando. I kept saying she should go that direction. No. Even though that reveal came out finally, I thought of Frank also. The reveal came out that TJ that Molly stuck with homeboy.
Yeah.
He forgives her for the most part, but got mad at his mother, which I thought that's realistic.
That made sense. Yeah.
That made sense. But she got mad at her, and went off on her and made her alone for, was it New Year's? Because when we thought she was alone. Yeah.
I liked that Molly like came clean, and her reasoning was like, and she pretty well took all the blame for not saying anything, because she's like, you know, I thought it didn't matter, but after seeing the way her mother was behaving and all the secrets in his mother, it's like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to be honest. And that's why he could forgive her, because yes, should she have come clean right away? Sure. But Molly is a good person. And Molly was thinking about TJ the whole time. Like, you know, this would just only hurt him. Her rationale worked. And I think that's why it was easy to forgive, because again, like she thought he'd left her, and that was because of his mother.
Well, she should have just played him scenes of her reaction anytime anybody brought up TJ and Brando, and just to see how cool Molly is about it all. Like,
the deer in the headlights look.
Oh boy. So
exactly.
even her apology was like, just know I love you. Like, get out of here. Just get out of here, Molly.
Yeah, I know. I'm just glad I think it's out now, so not gonna go from there. But I always thought that Sam and Brando had a little bit of chemistry, so I thought,
Yeah.
I also thought that
Sam
Carly
gives
and Brando had chemistry, so I was kind of like,
Oh yeah, Carly and Brando, that was good. And too, I agree. But with Sam and Brando, because Sam just gives everyone those fuck me eyes. Like, so it's like everyone thinks that she has chemistry with everybody, and I guess in a way, but because we don't always see that with the characters. But it's like, honey, that's your dad, or honey, no, like you've already been there, or that's just Jason 2.0. Like, get some new material, okay? Because and that's where I'll say, like, this is the storyline you want with Sam, guys. Like, you want her to leave Jason and get with Sonny's son. I get it's Dante, the far better one, but like, oh yeah, that's rational. I mean, we always complain about women only being in men's storylines, but I guess that's Sam's MO. But
yeah, well, the also like the really fast forward of the Sasha Brando dynamic, where it just went to like, why are you following me in this park? To we're gonna sit on this park bench and just laugh about stuff, and I'll give you a kiss on the cheek as I leave. Like, huh? That
it
really
was New Year's. Like, I didn't so much hate that, but I'm not Frank.
yeah.
Like, yeah, like
Same here. I didn't mind it either. I think they have chemistry together, so I don't mind.
And they're pretty.
They're pretty. That's all that matters. That's all that matters, Frank. They're pretty.
I'm down with them as a couple. It's just I felt like that went really quick to like, you're a creep, to like, hey, I'm gonna give you a kiss in the cheek, all in the span.
It went by fast. It went by fast. No, you're right. It went by fast. Well, See, I'd rather take them going fast than Peter and Maxie on my screen. I'm like, yes, okay, everybody. Yes, it is a time switch. I announced it like 3 days ago online. I don't know if you follow me online anywhere. I announced it again yesterday. I announced today. We are now on at 4:00 for at least the next 3 months. Because I have other stuff going on later. So 4:00 my time, PST, 6:00 Central Time, 7:00 Eastern Time.
This is the first time hearing of it. This is the first time hearing.
Oh no, Frank! I heard your memory in my brain going January 3rd, January. I'm like, no, it's January 10th. People.
I almost tweeted.
I heard you tweet it.
But I didn't want James to lose his mind. I was like, I'm gonna tweet like, oh, are we doing the show today? Like,
I on January 3rd, I thought of fucking Frank. That's what I thought of on January 3rd.
Yes.
That's what I thought of.
Yes.
I was like, no, it's the 10th. The 10th. Yes, we're a little earlier for now. We'll see how it goes. And that's so yeah. So I did announce on everything. So if you're not following me anywhere, not following us anywhere, then but yeah, anyway, so but right now the story and the story that I'm actually liking. I said it wasn't for on the show recently, and this is for Lacretia.
I can almost guess.
It's the Frizz people. Now I like them. I actually have become a Frizz fan.
Because their little family
4
is
years,
so
5
cute.
years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? The thing. I mean, I've always said I love both actors. Obviously,
yeah.
I like both actors. And I like Roger Howarth and everything. But I think because I think this whole part of it, this storyline arc, I actually kind of like it. And they're actually working together as a couple. Like they're really being a couple. And the fact that he has Drew Cade's memories coming out makes me laugh because he's working and makes Peter crazy. Now I love him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm loving the Ulbricht and Scotty being the extension of this, and then it really be like Liz and Franco are the couple on the show that's together, because even like Olivia and Ned, even though to me they're sort of the matriarch and patriarch, because they're usually together. Even while they're on the outs, we can kind of let Frizz shine as the people who have their crap together as much as they can with Franco in it. I love me some Franco, but he's a special case, like, to say the least. But yeah, when you have like even Terry, who's their friend, and I like that whole dynamic and her talk with Cam. I know we didn't have that.
That was good too.
Yeah, I like that we have this stable relationship sort of be the core of this, and then him and Scotty are just so fun. And Dr. O, I like that they've made up, and I like that we sort of have the acknowledgement that Liz and Finn are family with Violet. Like, and that's the reason they're at the wedding. But Peter and Maxie. But yeah, I love that we're getting Franco sort of poke at Peter now that he knows he framed his friend.
Do you think Franco knows that though? I mean, I know we're hearing Peter's menacing voice shouting his head, but I don't know do you think Franco's made that connection?
Well, I know that Liesel, is out,
Yes,
and he knows that. So like they've had those conversations. I don't think they ever really full on said it, but I do think that there's some acknowledgement there as to who did it other than her. So
yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. I can see that, but I don't think he's putting necessarily the pieces that Peter was the one that tried to actually kill him, ordered the hit that he went and saved him on.
Yeah.
But I think he knows something's up because the whole thing is he mentioned, I only had several friends. Lisa and I made up, and then there's also Drew who's dead. I mean, he said that to him on purpose. I think it was on purpose.
Yeah, I feel like it was deliberate, and that's what was so interesting about it.
Yeah. Do you think well, because I feel like Franco, should he tell Liz that Obrecht is back in town?
Yeah, I feel like he should. And I don't know if she doesn't know because we don't always see everything between them. And that was sort of some of the stuff with the Nicholas and Ava. Like it was always left ambiguous because you weren't seeing their side of it, or how they were together. So, I mean, knowing them and how honest they are, like for a while, surely she knows.
I would hope so. I mean, because I like the idea of because Franco, more of the two of them, Franco has more often defaulted like, oh, I didn't tell you this because blank. And it's like, well, you guys are supposed to be a loving, honest couple. Why aren't you saying that? So I'm hoping that is merely just an off-camera thing we haven't seen.
Yes. And then one nice little tidbit as we start to, and I get wrap this up, a nice little tidbit that I loved also, Ryan and Ava. I loved it. I thought, I mean, anytime I see anything, I'm all about John Lindstrom anyway. More John Lindstrom. And so to see him as Ryan be the vegetable, but still have all the thoughts and like he's trapped in his own body. And how Ava was sticking her nails in him, making bleed inside. He didn't flinch, but then he smiled. He kind of smirked at the end when he was going. I'm like, last to Ryan. Ryan ain't gone. He's not.
Yeah, when they said it was he's not a vegetable, he's locked in. I was like, oh, he's faking. And you could tell, and he had to sort of be faking because Ryan's a character that you love to have like sideline for a bit and then come back in the best way. And yeah, I love that scene with Ava digging her nails in and just being, and that's what I like about her and Nicholas is she's so honest about how awful she was. And I loved every minute. And he's just like, I love when even in front of Kevin to Laura, he's like, he needs to be willed into chum-infested waters. And Laura's like, Nicholas, come on. Like, Kevin kind of loves him. But I liked it, and I cheered for it, even though I love Ryan.
I thought, Kevin, and Kevin should be a little conflicted a little bit. It's his twin brother. There's always a better dynamic when they kind of feel a little something. But he knows how dangerous his brother is. So it's like there's that conflict, obviously, right?
Yeah.
It was his side of things. But it was just like, I love that Ryan was like, when he said a little smirk, I'm like, aha. Mm-hmm. Can you get up Ryan and kill Peter, please? I mean, it's older storyline. Sorry. It's crossing storylines.
Speaking of Ava, though, now with Julian gone and she's kind of, running his estate, so to speak, does Charlie stay in the picture? Does Ava keep it?
Well, no,
I like that set. Yeah, well, she was packing up his stuff because he lived upstairs,
that's right? Upstairs. So, okay, you're right.
Because they had her come out of there. But to me, it's like, that's a good set, and they just blew up the floating rib. So I do wonder if she's not going to leave it off to someone else to manage on the canvas or, sell it. Because I feel like they like that set, so I don't see it going anywhere, especially since they blew up the other bar.
Give it to Christina. I mean, we're not seeing her.
Yeah, where is Christina? I'm like,
I kind of wonder. Yeah, I kind of wonder if they won't recast like they did with Lucas, if they're going to have them around more. Like if Christina is going to run Charlie's, then maybe they'll have to get someone who's a little bit more available.
Yeah, I think so. But the Lucas, over Christmas we had him
with Wiley.
Wiley.
Yeah.
and be invited to be. I don't. The jury's still out. I mean, he's a good-looking dude. The jury's still out. I don't know what he can do yet. So I mean, I don't.
Yeah, we haven't seen enough to get that
and
much of a. Yeah, we haven't seen enough to get that much of a read, but it's one of those things that I feel like, you know, Lucas is a character that should be there, and it was a nice touch to have that be the Christmas miracle, was him with Wiley and being a part of the family, because that was long overdue. And at least they sort of explained it, like he was trying to keep his distance, and, you know, after all of that.
I thought Michael was going to reciprocate and ask him to be the Godfather.
I thought so too.
Yeah, I thought so too.
So when that didn't happen, I was like, why not? What's going on, Michael?
I thought that too. I thought that too. Actually, they didn't do that. And one of the other little tidbit is, well, Real Andrews, his cancer stuff is gone, so he's good. All that thing care of. So he was off the canvas, but he had the other guy filling in still. Which to me, I mean, he's a good actor, but just it doesn't ring. I can't get into it because it's not Real. But if I see Portia, they're giving her a lot.
Oh yeah, Portia is awesome. I love Dr. Robinson to you. Like I am in for Portia. I'm like, ooh, because like I always loved Robin for that same reason. Like, no, I'm a doctor and I am like this strong woman and I'm not going to put up with this crap. And so, yeah, I'm loving that we're seeing this in Portia. Britt Kerr is great. I am all in for this character. And I like the dynamic with her and Trina and with her and Jordan, even like her telling Jordan, you know, that's what happened with me and Marcus. Don't let that happen to you and Curtis if it hadn't happened already. Because she's honestly a good woman, and she don't have time for Jordan. She don't have time for Cyrus or even Marcus at this point, and I like it.
And when she told Jordan, that's Miss Robinson to you.
Yeah.
Dr. Robinson. Yeah, that's Dr. Robinson to you. Mm-hmm. And walked out. And Jordan was like, okay, girl.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, girl.
I was like,
She got it. She's like, I get it. She gave me some shade. I get it. She's like, I deserve it. But when she said that is Dr. Robinson to you, and she just walked on out and she sauntered out. She didn't just like, so she just her time was like, oh, bitch, I'm gonna go. And I just read him the right act. I kind of like that. My shirt is I'm gonna post it online. It's on the GH Facebook page. It's All My Children, the last season. It's everybody from last season. I found it.
On there.
They're like, we see where Trina gets it from. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cyrus can buy up the town like now like a drug smuggling monopoly man. That's what I wrote. That's so funny. Yes, they could. So I don't know. It's this right now. GH is good. I think it's really good right now. So I'm very curious if they're going to continue this. A few storylines could drop. Let's get the wedding going. I don't care. Let's get the wedding going. I just want to get it done. I want the reveal to happen. I want Peter to fall out. Everybody's digging. Everybody's digging to get him. But like, Frank, let's let it happen. Come on, let's let it happen.
But get ready for a really lame episode where we see the Bachelor and Bachelorette parties.
Oh yeah, like because Sam throwing Maxie's, yeah,
awful.
It's like they're going to some tacky strip club, aren't they? With Sam doing Maxie's party. And I'm glad that they remembered they were friends, because that was one of the few things I actually always liked about Sam was her friendship with Maxie. But boy, is this going to be painful, I assume. Like,
I was after Curtis and Jordan's Bachelorette and Bachelor parties where they did like the escape room, like that escape room GH passed. I'm like, that right there, you're never going to top that. So just don't ever do these stories again.
And aren't these folks old folks? I'm sorry. They're like my age or older. Like, why are we having bachelor parties? I mean, they're old. They've been married. A lot of them have been married before. Yeah. They've had things before. It's like, this is the first time down the aisle. It's just like.
Yeah, Peter, I'm like, he hasn't had one. This is his first marriage. Okay, but right. With Maxie, I'm like, girl, no, after two, like you're done, and you have two kids and one on the way. Like, you're a little old and a little pregnant for a bachelorette party. At some point it just gets sad.
Yeah, that's true.
And I like Maxie. That's what's sad. It's like
I know when Sam told that to Peter, like, oh, I wanted to coordinate our schedules. Like, really? You're gonna do one for me? All right.
Yes.
But James, I will agree with you on your tweet earlier, where just like that about Laura being so front and center, and it's so great to see her being pushed out there in front of the show because she's doing great.
No, I mean Laura should be the grand dame. I mean, like since Tracy isn't on all the time, and Laura and Monica's not all the time either. I think Laura is the one that can handle it. She has grace, she has style, she has history. I love when Cyrus says, "Oh well, and you know how to get it when your back's in the corner." David Grant, they said, "Listen to all her people." I was like, "Oh, I love that." So I'm like, Laura is a multi-dimensional character. She can pull it off. She's such a great actress. I think that's part of the history. And what's great also is they're showing us that she's more than just Luke's half. That's why I like that. They're showing us that she has earned her place in General Hospital to be the grand dame of the show. I think she's active. I love her and Curtis together. I love her and the kids. I love her. She has great chemistry with everybody. I'm always craving more of Jeannie Francis. She's so good that when she goes on screen, I'm so happy to see her on screen. And for a while they made a lot of Wally Kurth, which has always been great. Also, he's on both shows right now, doing both shows, and he's on both storylines right now. And so I think about Frank all the time. I think about Frank like, okay, how long is it gonna last? Because right now he's on both shows, front burner, so to speak. And that's another story. And I'm like, let Olivia find out that he slept with Alexis at this point. I'm over that storyline too. Just go ahead and just do it.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't result in them permanently breaking up, because I really like that couple and what they do for the Quartermains.
Tara Kendall, yes, you're absolutely right. Laura does predate Luke. That's what I'm saying. I'm glad that when she got with Luke, though, it became Luke and Laura. Now I'm glad that she is Laura. And so that's the point. She's one of the longest running cast members on the show, besides Lester Charlton.
Yeah, and I will just say that, I feel like they're answering a lot of the criticism that they had in the past. This show, certainly this week specifically, this is the Laura show right now. Everything comes back to Laura and her family with Cyrus and with Martin and all of what's going on. Laura is at the center of this umbrella storyline, and all the leading ladies, you got Nancy, you got Maura, and you had Laura, like everybody was front and center, and they were the ones running the show. It was the women. It wasn't Sonny and Jason. Although I have to see, because we saw Steve Burton this week, boy, him this week, he was really good. I really enjoyed a lot of the Jason and Carly stuff, and I kind of hope that they hook up again. Yeah.
What I do like is if you think about like All My Children with Erica Kane, I mean, you want that somebody, whether you love or you love to hate, that kind of duplicitous character. All right, she's gonna be the person that we're gonna hang everything from. I do like that it could be somebody like Laura, with Jeannie Francis, as you were saying, James, with style and grace, that you can also do a character like that and still have that person be the center point of a show.
Yeah, and it goes to show again, veterans can carry storyline today. You don't have to. The young ones are just not always the answer. So it's nice to have a generational story, but you should never throw out the veterans in the bathwater. So it's like just keep them on too. I mean, they can do story. A lot of times they know their lines. They can do stuff. Not just saying they don't need cue cards or whatever. But it's not too old. When you get to too old, and you're like, "What's my line?" It's kind of a little crazy.
I don't understand what he's saying right now. What's happening, Laura? Tell me. Oh boy. Whoa.
But it was history. They brought back a piece of history. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You guys, that is our episode for today. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining in. I know the time change was different. We have 31 people watching, so thank you for coming in here and doing that. But right now, so I'm telling you guys now,
we're back at 6 o'clock next week, right?
Hey, man, I'm gonna pull your beard off. It is 4 p.m. next week, folks. So whether you get a notification or not, or whether you're not on social media, it is 4 p.m. That's when we are Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you put that in your calendar, your date book, I don't know, whatever you use these days. You guys use these days, Google Calendar, whatever you use these days. Put it in there. Yes, this is for a while, folks. This is at least through April, folks. So there's a few months here to be on here. That's what we're doing right now. And of course, if you miss it, we're on. It gets posted. Once we get off this thing, it's on forever. And we want to thank you because this is the #1 show on my network.
We're #1.
I did the only one, right? I did the numbers for the year, and this is my #1 show. They like the three of us for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, they like the two of you guys.
No, I think they like the two of you guys. They don't want me on here. But it's like it is completely. I've been told that. But it's completely the #1 show on my network. I've been told that. Like, James, you're a nice producer, but you shouldn't be on here. So I'm not leaving, bitches. Sorry, I'm not leaving. But this is this is my #1 show on there, and I do not take that lightly. There is the podcast version. So, and that one's doing very well also. It's my top shows on there too. So if you want to listen to it and not look at us, or look at us and not listen to it, you have two options to follow. So I guess I look at that, right? We're on all streaming platforms. So you go anywhere. You can find us, iHeartRadio, Spotify, whatever. Hit the subscribe button. This is YouTube. This is my online network, JLJ Media. Frank Moran, somebody can find you.
You'll find me right here at 6 o'clock Pacific time next week on the GH Report. Happy Go Jackie? Is that right? I think I did it right.
Oh my God.
You're gonna kill him. You're gonna kill him.
Lacretia Lyon, do your thing.
Since I'm Lacretia Lyon, guys, you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one.
And JLJ Media is on every social media platform. JH Mini Spotlight is on the Facebook page. Go ahead and like that page. A lot of you guys are on there, so I post things all the time. Belated happy birthday to my man, Donnell Turner, who had a birthday this weekend.
Hello.
Yes, Donnell in the house. Hashtag Donnell in the house. We went back and forth for his birthday, so he had a birthday. So congratulations to him. He's still younger than I am, so everybody's younger than I am. And you can find me. We're all James Lott Jr. sold at James Lott Jr. on all social media platforms. That's right, everywhere, even on TikTok. And I have a new TikTok out where I found my last name on a street in Los Angeles. It's 1 block long. It's only 1 block long, but I found Lott Avenue, and that has actually gone viral on TikTok. I posted it and it went viral, so you can find me on that. I don't know, kids, why people they're all into it. You're a Lott, you found Lott Avenue, so anyway, it's kind of crazy, but I found it in East LA actually. Everybody, please be safe because it's crazy out there all over the place. So please be safe. Try to stay. It's crazy everywhere at this point. We have 12 days, 11 days left to get to something different. So everybody, stay safe. Try to stay calm. Try to stay compassionate, and we'll see you guys next time.